dash of Dave, he brings the cheer, crafty wonders year to year, scissors, glue, and ribbons dear, handmade holidays appear, old-time charm with modern.
Hello everyone, it's Dash of Dave here again, back for another crafty video. But today it's a collaboration video. So I'm collaborating with Tracie Fox, so Tracie Fox Creative. So her Etsy page is Love Junk Journals. Her website is www.traciefoxcreative.co.uk. and her YouTube is Tracie Fox Creative. Remember, it's Tracie IE. Okay, so I am taking part in the December Daily Advent Challenge, collaboration. So the hashtag for that is hashtag DDAdvent24, all one word. And the kit that is linked to this is called A Christmas Anthology. So, without further ado, or without further do push pineapple, check the tree. Oh, shut up, Dave. Anyway, without further ado, we'll move on. So I have made a prototype, but not a finished article of what we're going to make. So this is what we're going to make, which is a correspondence companion, or a letter writer's companion. So what we have is, it opens up like this. We have this bit here that has space for some large envelopes. We've got a place to be able to put your writing paper. You flip it over, and then we've got somewhere else for you to put larger envelopes, and then you have a board at the back to be able to write on. So as this is just my prototype, it's not finished, it doesn't have the board on the back, etc., but this is what we're going to make. So something resembling this. So what you'll need is, you'll need 2 sheets of cardstock, and 12 by 12 I'm using here, and 1 sheet of grey board. The grey board I've already cut to size. Okay, so this is grey board. The size of the actual letters writer's companion is 6.5. It measures 6.5 wide by 9.5 high. Okay, so what you'll need is, you'll need 2 sheets of cardstock, like I say. One of the sheets of cardstock you will cut down to 12 by 9. So we're just going to cut that now. So we're going to do 12 by 9. I'm going to use that piece. Keep hold of the bit that you cut off, because we'll use that for other bits. So I'm using, remember, these are 12 by 12, and then the other piece we're going to cut down to 12 by 11. Okay, just pop that on there, cut that off. And again, keep hold of that bit, because we'll be using it later. So just so that we don't get confused, I am just going to write down on here what these are. This is 12 by 9, and this one is 12 by 11, and that way then I always know which piece I'm using. Remember, we're going to cover these with like lovely papers, so it doesn't matter about the pencil marks. It's just kind of helps. So I'm just going to put the 12 by 11 out of shot for the moment. So first of all, if you're new here, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for coming to visit me, especially over the Christmas period. It's always nice to meet new people over the Christmas period. I hope you'll stick around. I make a lot of videos. I've got over 700 videos in my back catalogue, and I do 3 videos a week usually. And yeah, you tune in for the, well, you've tuned in for the collaboration, and you stay for the crazy. So so that's where we are. So anyway, with our 12 by 12 with our 12 by 9 piece of cardstock on the with the short bit across the top, so this is the 9-inch across the top, we need to score this at, now however you score it is up to you. If you've got a scoreboard, you use a scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you don't need one. Okay, so just use the groove of your cutting tool. If if you have one of these, you can always just open this bit up and use this groove. You use the measurements here and use this groove, and use a bone fold. If you don't have a bone folder, the gentle tip of a pair of scissors. You can use, you know, a butter knife, however you choose to score it. But I have a scoreboard. So then the first score this is the 12 by 9, okay, with the 9 across the top. What we want to do is we want to score it at 6.5, and then you're going to score it at 6 3/4. Okay, then you're going to take it and you're going to turn it anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, however you prefer to say that, and you're going to turn it round, and now you're going to score it at 9.5 and 9 3/4, and that's that one piece. And we're going to take that off, and we're just going to stand that to one side. So, and then we're going to take our 12 by 11, and again this is the 12 down this way and the 11 across the top. Okay, and we're going to score it again at 6.5. And we're going to score it at 6 3/4. Except for that wasn't even 6.5. So, sorry, we're going to... No, Dave, don't even do that. We need to put this at 11. Okay, so we're going to take the amount of cuts I have to put in this video, because people knock on the door, the phone rings, everything. Everybody wants me. Everyone wants a piece of me. So anyway, so this is 12 down here and 11 across the top. This time we're going to score at 6.5 and then 6 3/4. Okay, but instead of turning it anti-clockwise, we're going to turn it clockwise now. We're going to turn it 90 degrees clockwise, and we're going to score this at, again, 9.5 and 9 3/4. 3/4 mark there. Yeah, cool. So there we go. I'm going to take that off. Okay. So then we've done those scores. You will need to do a bit more scoring in a minute. So what we've got is we've got a main piece here which measures 6.5 by 9 on, this is the 11 by 12, and we're just going to bring this other piece back into shot. This is the, I've cut the measurement off this one. So, and then this is the 12 by 9 and 9, sorry, and this one is, this is the main piece here. Okay, so what we've got is we've got these two shorter flaps that come together. Now these are going to be our tuck for putting our paper in. Okay, so it's a bigger board at one side, and that's just so that it stops your paper from going limp. Nobody wants limp paper. So okay, just stay there. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to put in all of our score lines. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put, now because you've got, this is going to form a box fold. These are two lines that are very close together. The best thing to do in order to get them to bend individually but without forming new creases is put one of the creases against a ruler and then just fold up to the edge of the ruler. and then just move across and get the next one and do the same again. Just fold it up. Don't bend anything other than the very tip of the cardboard, and that way then you know you're not forcing a new crease. So you're going to do those two. First of all, what we're going to do is just correct any misformed shape going on there. Okay, so we're just going to put that score in there, and then again, we're going to find the other fold that we've just made and pop that in, and we're going to correct that shape as well, just shaping it up to the one corner and then putting your bone folder across it. Okay, if you don't have a bone folder, just use the heel of a pair of scissors and that'll be fine. And again, we're going to do the same on this one. So we're just going to put one fold in. Now I'm used to folding paper, so card, so I don't necessarily need the ruler. You just need to be careful if you're not used to it. So, because we have people here of different creative abilities, people that are all the way through their journey, people that have just started their journey, people who haven't even, bought a ticket yet. So we've done that one. Okay, so that's one side. Actually, I've folded it the wrong way, to be fair. Completely folded it the wrong way. So what you want to do is fold it so that the main part, main big part, is on the left hand side. Yeah, and then so we're going to do this one, and this one you want the main part on the right hand side. So I'll just fold all of these lines in. Okay, so there we go. So we've folded those now, and what we've got is basically what's going to be a book. It's going to go together like this, and we're going to have two sides. But you've got a box fold to it, just to give you a bit of space to be able to put the things inside it without it bulging too much. Okay, so on this sheet, which is the 12 by 9, we're going to just cut this corner off, and by cutting this corner off, I'm just going to put a line on mine that you wouldn't put on yours. I'm not going to, in fact, I'm not even going to do it in pen. I'm going to do it in pencil. We're going to cut, so that's the first line. So we're going to cut this corner off, and that includes that we're going to cut the second line of each of those fold lines off. So we're just going to cut those off, and I'm just going to use a pair of scissors. And if you're cutting a fold off, you want to cut, so we're cutting this fold off, so we want to be on the left hand side of the fold to make sure we cut it off. Okay, then we're going to turn it round, and now it's on this side. Okay, so what we want to be is on the right hand side of this one. I'm going to cut all the way across, and you cut that off. So just shape that up a bit. Dave, you better shape up. You better shape up, 'cause I need some hammer. No, that's not the words. Make your own words. So I'm just going to keep that to one side in case I need it. And then on this one, you're going to cut this piece off. So we're going to cut from this first score line, which is here, to this score line here. Okay, we're going to cut all of that off. Again, we're going to cut the score line off, so I want to be on the left hand side of it on this bit, and up to that line. I'm going to turn it round, and I want to be on the right hand side of this one. Only just though, you don't want to be like miles over. You're just making sure you cut that fold off. You don't want like a folded dog-eared edge hanging off the end of your page. So, well, you might, but like, you know, that's entirely up to you. So now we've got these two weird shapes, and you think, what on earth's all this about, Dave? Well, you know, hang on, give me a chance, I'll tell you. All right, so let's get the 9 by 12, okay, and we've got this box here. Now this is going to form the box of our first envelope keeper, which is this bit here. So what we want to do is we want to bring in our scoreboard again, and this time you're going to be scoring this bottom bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip it over, so that this is now at on the top, okay, and we're going to come up and we're going to come in half an inch here, and all you're going to do is you're going to score down to this, so from the top down to the second score line. So you're going to go half an inch in, down to the second score line and stop, and then we're going to go 1/8 of an inch over from there. And I know that seems a very close box, but you don't want a massive box to be able to hold all your envelopes in, otherwise it'll be very weighty, you won't be able to pick the thing up. So, and then we're going to come in from where the 6.5 inch, so this ends at the 6.5 inch line, we're going to come over over to the 6 line, and we're going to put a score line in there. Again, just down to that second score line, and then we're going to come 1/8 of an inch over from there, and we're going to score that down to there. Okay, then we're going to take it off the scoreboard for now, and we're going to cut these. So you're going to cut up on this second score line, so we're going to cut this box bit off just to, so we're going to go from this second score line, so second score line from the left up to the second score line from the bottom. I'm going to cut that off, and then we're going to do the same again on the first score line from the left up to the second score line from the bottom. We're going to cut that bit off, and then you're going to fold that, and you're going to cut that piece off. Okay, then we're going to turn it round, and we're going to do the same again on this side. We're going to come in, so from the left hand side, the first score line, we're going to cut up to the second score line from the bottom, and then the second score line we're going to cut off up to the second score line from the bottom, and then we're going to fold that bit back, and we're going to snip that off. Okay, so this is going to form our box for one of our envelopes. I'm going to do the same now on this one, again on the flap that we've got left. So we're going to flip it over, I'm going to line it up on that side, we're going to come over 1/2 an inch, and we're going to score, keep hold of your thing, down to the second line, and then we're going to go 1/8 of an inch over and score. Then we're going to come in the same again, so this time it's not an accurate measurement. You actually find that it'll be 4 2/8 it should kind of end on. So we're going to have to come in 1/2 an inch from there. So 1/2 an inch are 4 of these markers on my scoreboard, because these are 1/8 of an inch markers. So we're going to come in 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a score line there, and then we're going to just go one of those notches over and put a score line in there. Okay, I'm going to take that off, and we're going to do exactly the same again. We're going to cut that flap off. Just going to cut it first, and then I'm going to cut them off. Okay, once you've done that, we're going to cut this off, and this one off. Okay, we're going to get rid of the scoreboard because we've done with that now. Well, at least for the time being we have. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just going to put these folds in. So we're going to just fold it over the first crease, fold that, and score it, and do the second one. Do the same on the other side. fold it over, score it in, fold it over, score it in. So we've got a place for envelopes, tags, whatever we want to put on this side, on here, and then we've got this one here, which is for envelopes. So I'm going to fold it over, score it in, fold it over, score it in, fold it over, score it in. There's a repetition going on here, isn't that? Fold it over, score it in. So there we go. We've got this kind of box shape that we've got here that's going to fold over, and we're going to create a box pocket here. Now what you might find is the bottom of this might clash with this crease here, and all you need to do is you just need to snip it like you're making a box, just off at an angle, and again on that side just off at an angle, and that's fine. That will stop it from getting in the way of the crease, and you'll be able to get a nice sharp corner here and here. Okay, we're going to do the same on this one, just snipping that to make it a shaped edge. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to glue these two pieces together. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue them so that, let me just flip it up this way. So we're going to glue it on the first fold. Okay, so I'll try and explain this better. So from the left, you're going to glue it on just the flap, so that you're going to go, that's your first fold, second fold over that bit, and then coming from this continuing across, it's going to be your first fold on this piece. So you're just going to glue those two pieces together. Now you've got, remember, you've got a short and a long one there, okay, and those are the two pieces that you're going to glue together. However, before you do that, this is the time to start decorating it. Now normally you'd wait until you finish something to decorate it, but we're going to glue, we're going to start gluing things, and it's going to make it really hard for you to cut pieces of paper out if you start gluing it now. So this piece, the 9 by 12, is actually going to be your front page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this all up, because you know me, I like to have a bit more of a grungy look to my finished projects than, well, I don't know whether it's grungier than most, or whether it's just the same level of grunginess, or in fact I might even use more of a warmer tone and use a brushed corduroy this time. So I'm just going to ink this, and I will meet you back here. I have grunged mine up, I'd say sufficiently. I might do it a bit more, as you can see. So I do like mine quite grungy. I like the ones on the outside to look darker than the ones on the inside, because that's where it gets most grubby. And don't worry about all of this, because I know it looks a mess now, but this is where we're going to start putting on our, well, putting on the Ritz. That's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start putting our panels in place. So what I have done is I have selected some of my favorite pieces from the kit, and then I've gone through again and gone through the pieces and thinking how I was going to put this together. And I found, so this one, this is the size it would normally print at in the UK. So this is a UK A4. Sorry, couldn't think what it was. But I don't have an A3 printer. Now this is going to need slightly larger sizes. So what I did, and I thought, well, you guys might not have a larger printer. But what I did was I used the image, put it into a Word document, and then expanded it to fill the page in a portrait size. So that means you lose the other half of the page. But that way then I can have it as big as I want. So 2 of these pages together would make a larger A3 size, which I don't have a printer for. So that's what I'm going to use on the front of here. So this is going to be the front. So this is the one with the 9-inch wide one. Okay, and this is, it folds like this. So this is going to be the front here. So I'm going to put this on here, and I really loved this robin, and I just thought that red robin, when he comes bobbing along, would be lovely. So that's what I'm doing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of cut this piece of paper down. Now, it doesn't always cut perfectly when you're cutting paper on a paper trimmer, because it tends to snag a bit sometimes. So it's a good idea to use another piece of paper underneath it to kind of just stop it from snagging as you do it. So but having said that, I don't have another piece of paper to put underneath it, so I'm just going to cut it down first of all. I'm just going to cut all the white bits off, and then we're going to choose how big we want it from there. Now it shouldn't snag too much because it is a new blade, but you know, famous last words, as soon as you start a camera rolling, everything goes wrong. Never work with children, animals, children, or Dave is usually the thing that they say. And if they don't say that, they will do from now on. So that's our piece with all the white bits cut off. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to cut it down to here. So this measures 6.5 by 9. So we know that that front panel measures 6.5 by 9. So I think I'm going to cut this down to being, I think I'm going to cut it to be smaller than that. Now I just want to make sure, well, I'm definitely cutting it smaller than that. Sorry, I'm going to cut it down to, I don't know whether to do 6.25 by 9.25. I think I'll do 6.25 by 9.25. So I just having a thought about positioning of my robin. Yeah, that's about right. So if I do that, just put a crease down there, just a finger crease, just so I know where to cut up to. So first of all, I'm going to cut this bit, this line that I've just made in it. I'm just going to cut that, and then I'm going to make this now 6.25 wide. Hopefully we don't snag it, Dave. Just going gently. There you go. So that's going to be the width of it. Let's just see what that's going to look like on there. Yeah, that's perfect. 6.25 by 9, and I'm going to go 9.25. So I'm going to cut the very top of this off. And then we're going to see what this looks like if I cut, see how much we're going to cut off to there. That would be probably about right. I want him to be slightly lower on the page. So the panels that you're going to cut for the front and the back, and the inside the front and the back, are going to be 9.25 by 6.25 if you want to do it the same as me. If you want to cut it to 6 by 9, you'll just get a wider border on it. Okay, but I'm cutting this like this, and then I'm just inking the edge so you can't see that white edge of that paper. You see how it's gone a bit floofy here? That's because I should have used my blade to cut it. So I'm going to pop this onto here, and that's going to be our front page. Just going to get rid of those floofy bits, pull them off, ink them down. Never done ever see if you ink it down a bit. So I'm just going to ink this page a little so that it kind of blends in with the rest of it. So it picks up a little bit of the colour coming in from the edge of that paper. So this is the letter writer's companion that goes with the other two kits that the other two companions that I've done. So I did the Carolers companion, and then I did the Tag Writers companion, and all with the appropriate bits in for you to be able to, you know, go caroling or write your tags or however, whatever you want to do with the appropriate pages. Sorry, just let me get a glue book out. So I'm just going to glue this down with just the same way as I did it before. I'm going to glue the majority of it with wet glue, sorry, with stick glue, and then the edges with wet glue, just to make sure that they don't lift up. So far, right, touch wood. Touch wood. Let's find some wood first. I'll touch this bag. That's wood. Touching my head. That is made of wood, but don't know if it counts. I haven't been called out on an alarm call out yet, so this is probably a first. Maybe one of the first videos I'll ever make it through without it being called out. Usually, I start recording and then get a phone call to say, the alarm's gone off. And it's never usually anybody breaking into the building, so it's usually somebody forgetting the alarm code as they're typing it in, or typing in their alarm code from home and triggering it, or setting the alarm and then coming back in for something. Well, so as most of you know, I work long hours. I work full time for a charity as a resource manager, and then I answer the emergency call outs in the times between, and then basically I'm a workaholic. That's really what I'm trying to say. And then I do prep for my videos on a Saturday and filming on a Sunday. So that's going to be the cover of my companion. Okay, I'm going to put something on the inside of here, and again, these are all the pages that all I've done is I've just blown them up by using not that kind of blowing up. Didn't use dynamite. I've used I think I might have that one there. I've used what's it called? Oh no, this is the one. So I've used Word for it. So this is the two halves of this particular thing. In fact, I think they go together just like that. And you see how you can make a larger sheet. You obviously going to have a cut line down the middle, but that's fine for what we're using it for. So I think I'm actually going to use this piece because that'll sit on this side and have that piece on the other side. So yes, I'm going to cut this one down, and we'll cut this down to 6 by 6¼ by 9¼ again. So I shall come back to you. I think that's the best thing to do. I'll just stick my finger in the glue. Cut these down. Now I've cut both sides of it down to the right size, and I'm just going to glue these in. So just thought I'd bring you back for while I'm gluing it in. I just want to obviously ink it so that they don't have that white edge and they stand out like a sore thumb. I'm just inking around all of those edges. Okay, so I actually did most of it with my blade this time rather than relying on my cutter. So glue is just, of course, not running out, but running low when you don't need it to. I think I've got more actually, so oh no, it's actually not that bad. I thought the post was sticking up through the middle, but it's not. Hopefully this isn't too, no, I thought that was going to be all stuck. And this is just as an extra security. Like I say, I'm just put this on. I always do this because it just gives me that, make sure that my edges are all glued down nicely. So this is this piece. So this is the 12 by 9. So this is the back of the front cover, the inner of the front cover, should I say. Just going to pop that on there. Okay, and then we're going to do, this is the inner of the back cover. So I'm just going to glue this one on. Because it's better if it's glued down. So yes, anyway, so thank you for watching if you're here, by the way. Thank you for joining me and for supporting me. It'd be great if you would just give this video a like. Fantastic if you comment. Marvelous if you subscribe. And you know, I'm up for a conversation. If you, a best way to converse with me though is not necessarily, so obviously put a comment in the comment section, because that helps my YouTube algorithm. It helps that as well. It helps my try that again. My YouTube algorithm. But if you want to, if there's questions you want to ask, or you know, that sort of thing, it's the best way to contact me is through using my email, or you can message me on my Ko-fi. I do have a Ko-fi, by the way. So Ko-fi, there's a lot of free things on there. There's some things that I have, some kits on there that are just inexpensively priced, and then I have an Etsy as well, just in case you were wondering. So but yeah, so message me through the Ko-fi or through so that's going to stick together like this. So I think they kind of go nicely together. These just kind of resonated with me. Bong, that kind of resonated. I don't mind. Don't mind what kind of resonated, actually. Just resonated. So this panel. So this is the panel. So this is going to be the other side of the note paper panel. This measures 4 and 1/8, okay, wide, and of course it's going to be 9.5 high. So we're going to make it 9 by 3 and 9.25 by 3 and, oh blimey, work that out, Dave. 3 and 7/8, because of course that's nice, easy cut to make. The first cut might be the deepest, Dave, but like, I don't know which piece to use now. Which piece shall I use? I really love that. That's a bigger piece. I think that's the other half of that. So it kind of lines up like that. I really like that, but I don't want to cut any of those details out. I think I'm going to use that or that as the back page. So as on the back, on its back side. I think this one is the one I'm going to cut for there. So again, I'm just going to cut this down. So this is just, like I say, if you want to make any of these, anybody's digitals really, bigger, just put them onto a Word document and you can resize it to whatever size you need, you know, up to the size of the page that you've got. So rather than printing this in landscape, I printed it in portrait so that I could get the full size of the image without having to go and buy a new printer, which obviously nobody wants to be going to buy themselves a new printer at this time of year, because I'm sure your partner won't be very happy if you're buying yourself stuff at this time of year, because they'll be saying, well, you should have just said, I know what I bought you one, but I bought it you for Christmas. So that's if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, go and buy yourself a new printer. Don't let me stop you. So we're going to go for 9.25 this way. 9.25. Oh, don't do that. And then we're going to do the 3 7/8 that way. I think that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to use the other side of this on the the other side of this on the other side. So that piece is going to go on there. Okay, and then this piece is going to go on here. I'm just going to cut this down to being whatever this is. So this panel here again is 9 1/4 high by 2 1/8. So we're going to make it 1 7/8. I'm going to cut that bit off. 1 7/8, which is there. Okay, 1 7/8. Then we're going to put that. Hopefully that's the right width. Might be a little bit short, but oh, that's fine. No, I'm happy with that. So I might just blend in a bit more ink in the background, just so that it doesn't. There's not so much cream showing in the background. If I have missed a bit, or if I have cut the paper too short. Just softens that bit down. Cool. So that's that. So let's stick this one down. So again, get my glue book. Oh, ink it. Sorry, I'm getting the right 2 1/8 here. There we go. Oh, where's my ink gone there? Just going to go around this edge. I mean, like, you know, you do what you want to do, but I just like I don't like to see that white edge of that paper. I just think it makes it look a bit new looking, and we're trying to make it look vintage and old, and like we've had it for a long time, and a shot of white just makes it, just breaks the illusion for me. So again, I'm just going to ink this. Sorry, ink it. This is not ink, Dave. This is not the ink you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. Oh, I can't wait for Christmas. I should be watching I think we're going to watch the Star Wars. I was going to say the Star Wars trilogy, but it's no longer a trilogy, is it? I don't know what the quintet. No, there's a quint. I don't know how many people are in a quintet. I don't know what the collective term for 6 people are, or 6 things. Because there's like 6 films now, aren't there? So, well, 6 of the main films, and then there's all of your other franchise stuff, so the spin-off stuff. So we're going to pop that on there. So not very Christmassy, I know. Like, you'd be thinking, well, that's not very Christmassy. I've been watching Christmas movies though recently. I do love a Christmas movie. I just, you know, the run up to Christmas is a great time for watching those Christmas movies and getting yourself in the spirit and that sort of thing, and feeling nostalgic. And it's going to be obviously going to be a difficult Christmas for me this year. My first Christmas without my mum. I just don't want to talk about it too much, because every time I mention her, I just break out into floods of tears. I found myself in the supermarket the other day having a bit of a weep about, I'd seen an advent calendar with, there's some chocolates called by Anton Berg in the UK. Well, they're definitely not a UK product, but they're available in the UK. And there was an advent calendar, and that mum would have absolutely loved that. She loved Anton Berg chocolates. So that's going to go on there. Oh, this is looking absolutely marvellous. I have to say, this kit is beautiful. So well done, Tracie. It does look absolutely gorgeous. So you cannot go wrong with this. So we've got this here. So we're going to put a panel of something on the front of here, and we'll put a panel of something on the front of this one as well. And I will use So I don't have to use the larger size ones now. I'm going to use some of these. And I think what I might do is I might put those presents under that tree on there. So we need to have, this one measures, just so you know, this one measures 2 7/8 by 2 1/4. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do it at 2 and, well, I'm going to make it easy for myself, 2 3/4 by 2, I think. So I'm going to measure, have that bit out of there, that corner. So, in fact, can I do it on here? Can I? I don't know. 2, I can't remember what I just said. 2 high. Not too shy. Too shy. Hush, hush, I know what. Yeah, not too shy. I'm going to cut that off. I would if I had that's under there. Make sure that's the right size. Oh, I can't do 2 if I don't know. Oh no, just do that. Do that, and then we want it to be cut to, I can't remember what I just said. What did I just say? 2 3/4. No, I'm going to need a trimmer for that, Dave. Of course, you can make it with whatever you like, whatever kits floats your boat. 2 3/4 is what I just said, didn't I? Did I? I don't know. Was anybody paying attention? Was I paying attention? Clearly not. So I'm going to cut the very tip of that off, up to that present. And then I'm going to flip it round and then cut it down this way. There we go. And we're going to stick this down. Where's my glue book? Oh, my desk has suddenly become like 1/10 of the size it used to be. I'm just going to flip that over. I think I've gone too many pages. Yeah, I had. Again, ink it around the edges, and then I need to do the other side, and then we need to do the back, and then we need to talk about the other bits that you can put on it. So I'm going to put that on there. And then that's the presents under the tree. Okay, we're going to do this one. We're going to measure that. It'll be too high. Hush, hush, I do I. And we're going to do 5. So it measures 5 1/4. So we'll do it at 5. So 2 by 5. What should we put on there? I think I'm going to take the bottom corner of this. That's 2. Oh, I did think about, oh no, I've got a bigger, so this is the smaller version, so I've got the bigger version, which I'm going to put on the back. So I'm going to do this all the way across. 2 by 5. And then that's going to be that corner, so that's going to be there. Yeah. Problem with this is my desk isn't big enough. B, I've forgotten what I was talking about. My desk isn't big enough. B is you put yourself under pressure to do these things. First take, and you forget to do stuff on the way. So, and you know me, I like to be brutally honest. There is another piece that goes onto here and onto there. Okay, so the one that goes onto there you can't do as a component part of this background because it just doesn't work. It's too many cutting and holes and that sort of thing. But this one you can, and that is this bit at the top here. So this piece you can't do, but this piece you can. You could have stuck it down underneath this, but I completely forgot, and I'm being very honest with you, because I always am. And you know, if you've not been with me very long, or your first time here, you'll know that you won't know that I'm very transparent. I say it as it is. I am autistic, so I do have issues with like people not being honest. So I like to be very honest with you. I'm happy to make mistakes on camera, which clearly I have. So we're going to pop that into there. Sorry, I'm just gluing this down now. Now we've glued. Now, if you're gluing this down, one of the best things to do is stick your ruler in and press that side seam down of your box on the other side, and that'll just make sure you make contact. Okay, so that's that piece. We need to glue something on the back, but we'll make this other box as well. Okay, so this is going to go on here. Okay, and again we're just going to glue this shape in. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if I don't do it now, I'll forget. Then I'll be confessing another thing to you. So again, just making sure that kind of forms a nice box shape. Just pinch it into place and press it down. And pinch it into place and press it down. It doesn't have to be a sharp, squared edge, but not completely flat, otherwise there's no point of having made it a box in the first place. There we go, so that's your two pieces. This is going to glue together, but we need to put something on this panel now, so we'll just find something else that we like to put on there. I want to have that on there. Right, where else would I put this? Okay, I think I'm going to have that on the back. Oh no, I think I might have that on the back actually. I'll have that on the back. In that case then, do I want the fire? You won't see much of it because once you've glued this piece onto it, you won't see a huge amount, but yeah, I think I'm going to put the fire on there. Again, it's 9.5 high and it's the same as the other measurement, but I can't remember. Well, you're not going to see it all, so that other panel comes in 2 inches this way, so I'm going to cut this down to 2.5 inches wide by 9.25. So we're going to go 2.5 inches wide. I'll just go 3, that's easier. Actually, I'm going to cut that very edge off, I think, just so you can see more of the fireplace. And go, just easier, just do 3. And then we're going to go 9.25 high. glue book back in. Well, I don't know how people feel about me being oh, you know what I haven't done? I haven't done the inking around the edges. About me being terribly honest. I think most people enjoy the fact that find it refreshing that I'm very honest. But I'm very honest in life as well, so you know, I say it as it is. I don't say anything to upset people, so because I have a late diagnosis of autism, I've learnt to kind of mask it. So I've learnt to be kind. Something that a lot of, I didn't put the glue around the edge, never mind. I've learnt to not be callous about things. I'm not unkind, I just... So these are going to stick together like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll do that in a second, okay? But the back side, I've just realised the back side, we didn't need to ink, Dave, because actually we're going to cover the entire back. That's the reason why we didn't do it with our board. That just means we've got a nice writing board. Now you could do it without the writing board. You know, you can make it however you like, but the writing board just adds a little something extra, just gives it a bit of rigidity for when you're writing those letters. You don't have to have a board at the back of it. So I am going to try and find where I've just put. Sure, I just kept that somewhere, didn't I? Did I put it down, or have I just cut it up? I think I might have just cut it up. No, I definitely had it. Oh, it's on the floor. It fell off. So this is the piece I'm going to have on the back. So again, this is another piece of one of the ones that I've blown up. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it onto here and then wrap it around the edges. So I'm going to leave it so that it's bigger than it needs to be. Leave the white edges on for now. And then we're going to flip it over and glue it all down. So I'm going to glue the board this time rather than the paper, because it makes it easier. Now I'm not coating this in anything. You could, of course, you know, you could gesso it over it and use other types of glue. If you're going to use a wet glue on this all over, it can curl it because you're only wetting one side of it. But I'm going to use this stick glue, which hopefully I have enough of. And I'm going to do like I normally do and just glue around the edge. I've got jingle bells in my head now, so what? I don't know why. He only knows. I think when I was a child I must have swallowed a jukebox because I've got that many heads going round my song. Now I've got that many songs going round in my head. So, get any bits off it. Put this face down. And then flip this over. And we're just going to... Now, I know you can't place the picture how you want it this way. But if you want to do that, you just do it the other way up. I'm not particularly worried. So, now I've stuck that down, I'm just going to pick this up. And I'm going to use my scissors to just kind of make a shape on there so that we can then cut the corners without them getting in the way of themselves, so they won't be all bulky. And I'm not going to worry about this side because remember this is going to stick to the back of the board as long as we remember it's the right way up. Yeah, that's good. It is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue a bead of glue down the edge of the board, just on the edge. Yep. and then some glue over this flap. And that way then I know that the edge of this is going to make a nice contact when I fold this over. It's going to make contact, then stick down, and you won't get a puckering on that bit. I'll stick that down. I'm going to do the opposite side now. Again, just a bead of glue down that, so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, just down the edge of the actual board itself. And then on the panel. And then we're going to flip it up, run your finger across that bit and stick it down. We're going to do the same on this bit. And this should hopefully stop the board from bending too much, because you're not making it excessively wet. Like I say, you could cover it. You could cover the board, you could gesso over it, or you could cover it in a bit of PVA or Mod Podge or whatever. And I'm not worrying about the corners, because again, we're making it look old. So sometimes corners go a bit dog-eared, moth-eaten, however you choose to term it. So you do get a bit of fluffy bit, but like you can see, they're not terrible. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink those corners anyway, make them look really inky. No point inking this side, because this is going to be glued to the back of the folio. But like, put a little bit of glue down the edges. Now I cut the board before. I didn't cut it with you guys, and that's just because obviously it makes it easier. But the board is quite easy to cut. I usually cut it in my guillotine first, in my paper trimmer first, to make a groove line. If you watch my previous video, not previous to this, but my previous companion video, which is the Tag Writer's Companion, I think I show you how to cut board in there. So, and if it's not that one, it's in the other one, which was the Caroller's Companion, because I think they all, oh no, the Caroller's Companion doesn't use any board, so it won't be in that one. So that's it, that's our back page. Okay, so we're going to put that down, so we're making sure that that's the right way up, which it is. I'm going to take this back board now, and we're going to glue this onto here, and because it's the same size, it should glue perfectly. Now again, I'm going to glue this board because it's easier to glue the board than to glue the cardstock. I'm just going to glue all over it with some of this stick glue. Now I'm filming this and thinking, I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to leave in, whether I'm going to tell you how to glue things or whatever, but if I've left it in, I've left it in. So and then we're just going to run some glue down the edge. You can do a straight line. I can't do anything straight, so just be glad I am not a brain surgeon. Or a road marker, to be fair. You know, you wouldn't want me marking the roads. You don't want me marking the roads. Yes, that centre line would be very difficult to follow. So I'm just going to pop that on there. And then you can, now, because it's quite slippy in the middle, because you've used stick glue, you can kind of, then gives you a bit of opportunity to center it and get it all in the right place. Make sure it's not hanging over the edge too much. If it hangs over the edge, you tend to, like, if you run your finger down it, you'll end up with a paper cut. So you just want to make sure that's all stuck down. And of course you could use like a Xyron to do that with. I do have a Xyron, but I get it out on special occasions because I can't. It's very hard to find the refills for it in the UK these days, so I try not to use it as much, which I know defeats the object, having these craft things that you don't actually use. So okay, so that's all lined up on square. Okay, so that's that bit, and then what we're going to do is we're going to attach these two bits together. But because remember we're making it as a tuck thing, what you want to do is you just want to glue. You want to glue down this first. So if you hold it this way, so you're holding it with the front cover open. Okay, fold this flap up. You don't want to glue. This is going to be your spine, so you don't want to glue on your spine. You want to glue on this edge, down this edge here. So we're going to put a bead of glue all the way down there. Like I say, you can do yours straight. I clearly can't. And then we're going to put about what's that? A 1/4 of an inch either side at the top and the bottom. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to press those two pieces down so that the spines are flat on the desk. Oh no, that spine's flat on the desk. No, don't do it like that, Dave. Right, what you want to just make sure is that you don't stick the spines together. So we're going to have it like this, and you just want to shape this. It's fiddly, I know, but you want to make sure that the spine is visible. I don't know why one of these pieces is slightly bigger than the other. I have no idea. And then once you've got it in place, pinch them up into a peak, and then just pinch across that. Don't worry about these two, like, you know, they don't kind of line up or they don't look perfect or whatever, because we're going to do something with that. So now what we're going to do, just bear with me, I'm just going to have a quick tidy up. What we're going to do is we're just going to make a spine for here. So we're going to make a squared off spine for here. So again, it's going to be 9.5 inches high, because that's how high our board is. Okay, and then we're going to make it so that it is, so that mine, because my the thickness of my board, taking that into account, I'm going to make mine at 1/2 an inch wide. So I'm going to use some of the board that I had, some of the card that I have left over. This is going to form your kind of wrap inside as well, but you can afford to lose a little bit of it. That's fine. 1/2 an inch you won't notice. So that's my 1/2 an inch. I'm going to make it 9.5 high. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of panel of my offcut here, and I'm going to glue that onto there. So all I want to do is I want to cut that down to the correct size. So we're going to go with 9.25 again. And then we're going to ink this. Well, I am. I'm not worried about coming in from the sides because you're going to cover most of this anyway, so I'm not going to say it. Just make sure the edges are caught, top and bottom as well. I'm going to do the edges on this. I seem to be good at inking myself and not the not the card or paper. And then I'm just going to stick this down, and I'm just going to use a bit of wet glue because it's so narrow. If I tried to do, I can't think what it's called, that stuff on it, I'd be just making everything sticky. It's way wider than this piece of card is. This piece of paper is. Card, paper, paper card, card paper, paper card, whatever. Dave, just make sure I just move it to the right place. Press that down. And then we're just going to stick this on this spine here, and that just kind of just hides all the inner workings, the innermost workings of it. And again, I'm going to use wet glue because I want it to anchor nice and firmly. Now, I'm probably using more than I need, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smoosh it out a bit. Just use this piece of paper. Get off! There we go. Put that on the spine, flip it over. Is that the right way up? Is it the right? Does it matter? It isn't the right way up. It does matter to me, but pop that on there. Stick it down. You just want to make sure that sticks nicely, so just make sure you kind of press it down and keep it in place before you let go. That also just strengthens that spine that you've got. You can then just flatten it, stick it down a bit more. Okay, so just take your time over sticking that down. I haven't taken my time, and you can tell because it's peeling back up again. See, that's what happens, Dave, when you try to rush. I don't know why I'm rushing, because like you'll either stay to the end or you won't. So if you weren't staying to the end, you'd probably have gone by a long time before now. Probably one of the longest videos I've done for a long time, actually, though. This right. Stick it down and be patient, Dave. Patience is a virtue. I am not fortuitous, though. So, stick it down and leave it. Don't play with it. Don't mess with it. Don't do anything, Dave. Just don't, Dave. Leave it alone, Dave. Right, so that's on. Okay. And then what we're going to do is, these are the inner bits. So this piece that you have here, okay, is going to form the wrap over your second lot of envelopes, okay? Or I've got envelopes in here, like you could have, you know, tags or whatever you want to have on here, okay? So you can have tags and things in there or whatever. So this piece is going to be here, is going to go round here. So what that means is you want it to tuck inside the pocket, okay? Which means that I need to clean my fingers first. So I might just have to come back to you in a second after I've cleaned my fingers, because it's all getting a bit sticky. So these are the two pieces that we cut off previously. Okay, so this wider one we cut down a little bit because we've gave it a spine. Okay, this piece is going to be folded over here. So what you want to do is you want to measure it. Okay, so I can't remember now. I've forgotten what it is. I'll be really honest with you. 9. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it off. Okay, and we're going to just score it at 9. So from one end, score it at 9. Put that back on there. It won't stay on. Just make sure it's square. So score it at 9, and then score it at 1/8 over from there. Okay, so just like we made the other box fold. Okay, then you're gonna, that's not very straight, but you can do yours straight. Mine clearly aren't going to behave today, so, but you know, do yours straight. Mine's not going to happen. My brain's starting to overwork now, so, and then scroll that bit down. Okay, so you've made that kind of box fold. Now I just want to ink that again, wherever it's gone. It's there. And again, we're going to put something on this panel. So you'll want to put something on this panel inside as well. So I'm just going to ink that over, just around the edges really. So I cleaned the sticky off them, but I didn't get them very clean. So this piece is going to stick over here, and this is going to come down and tuck into that pocket there to hold anything in place. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to round these corners off. Now you can decorate both sides of this, or you can decorate one side of it, whatever you choose. I think I am going to choose another piece of paper. Rather to have that. Actually, I might even just do it that way. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So this is the one that measures, I can't remember what it measures now, 2.5 wide. So we're going to cut this down to 2.25 wide. And I know it's a Christmas tree, and I know that you know, you wouldn't have a Christmas tree this way around, but you're not really going to be able to tell on that little panel what it was. So I'm just going to cut that down, and we're going to cut that down to 9, well, 8 3/4. Cut that bit off actually. So you can't really tell what that is. Okay, again, we're just going to ink this. And all the edges. Okay, because I've rounded that corner, I'm going to round the corners of this if this jumps through it, because it's very thin paper. It did, it's fine. Sometimes it gets stuck in it, but it didn't. I'm going to ink this as well. And I'm just going to glue this with some wet glue, just because I don't want I'm starting to get a bit of ick from the wet glue on my fingers. I am sensitive to textures, and sometimes I'm okay with it. Well, most of the time I'm okay with having inky fingers and sticky fingers and that sort of thing, but it's the accumulation that I can't cope with. So that's going on there. We need to put a little panel of something on here. Maybe that would be perfect there. That will be fine. That's just brilliant. That's just got a little bit of a white raw edge on that edge, so we're going to cut that off. Cut that bit down there. Get rid of that floof, that floofy edge. Okay, and again, ink the edges. Ink this, now glue this, Dave. That's what this is called, glue. I'd like to introduce you to glue, Dave. Put this on here. And then we're going to put something on this side as well. So again, we might just use something from this. So again, we're going, I can't remember what that width was. What did I say? 2.25. Now for 2.25, we won't use the house because you would be able to tell that's the wrong way around. We'll use this bit here, which you're not going to be able to tell. Two and a quarter by and 7/8. No, 8 3/4, not 8 7/8 at all, Dave. Don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's going to go on there. Again, we're going to round off these corners. I think I might just trim that edge of floof off. Ink this down around the edges. Just going to have to make sure I'm still recording, because I had that moment where I was like, oh no, did I press record? Because I'm starting to overwhelm myself. So that's going to stick on there. It's, you know something, I've made 700 and something odd videos. They're all very odd videos, that's very true. 730 odd videos. And whenever you're doing a collaboration, it's always more nerve-wracking. And nerves just make you make mistakes. So, and I have. And, you know, at least I'm honest with you, and I've said, I've forgotten to show you that bit. So we're going to glue that onto there. I'm going to glue the whole of this panel up to that first score line. Now you could turn that into a tuck, you know, if you just glued around the 3 sides, but you want it to be fairly sturdy, so I'm sticking it down. So let's get that so that it's nice and level at the top. Let's just get it into place. Oh, Dave, I knew that would happen, didn't you? You did, didn't you? Right, that's just to make sure that we get it in the right place. It's in the centre of the pocket. It is. It's lined up there, lined up at the edge. Is it? It is. Put a bit more glue on that top edge. So that's that bit. Okay, and then we're opening it up, and then this piece here. So what we want to do is, we want to score. So first of all, you need to find your middle. So this is 12 by, well, this is actually 12 by 1 inch now. So put it on your score thing and just mark where your middle is. You don't need to actually put a crease there. And what you want to do is you want to go so it's 5.5. This is 5.5 inches. So you need to go half of 5 is 2.5. So 2 3/4 out from there. So 1, 2 3/4, and do a score line. And then do 1/8 over, and then from the 6 we'd go 1, 2 1/4. No, 2, sorry, and 3/4, isn't it? 3/4 and 3/4 and 1 inch, one of those over, and that should be right. And then we just fold in those box folds. Actually, it's that way around, Dave. Fold in that box fold again. Can't get the other fold to go. There we go. So that's our box fold edge. We're just going to ink that a bit darker. Okay, so this sits on here. Now this, I've left this like this because I can put a panel of something on the inside of there, which we will do together, I guess. I think I might just use a piece of that. So I'm going to cut it at 3/4 of an inch wide. Which is not easy to cut on a paper trimmer like this because you don't know where to grab it. And then we're going to cut it down to, oh, we don't need to cut it down at all, do we? Oh yes, we do. So rather than trying to go bridging this here, we're going to just ink that and ink that. We're not going to try bridging it at all. We're going to, otherwise you'll end, if you try and stick something all the way across there, you'll end up with, when this folds over, it'll just bunch up and it won't stick and it won't look great. So we're going to do 2 3/4 one side, 2 3/4. We'll do this and we'll do 2 3/4 the other side. I'm just going to ink those bits up. Yeah, the trimmer's starting to go floofy around the edges, but I might be able to get to the end of this before I have to change the blade. That's either side, so we're going to stick those on either side, and we should have enough for the middle. We do, and the middle bit is 5 1/2, we know, so we're going to do 5 1/4. 5 1/4. Is that what I'm doing? I'll cut the green bit off. You think you notice that less? Again, just ink around the edges. All the way around. Cool. So this piece is going down the middle. I'm just going to get it inky. Stop saying it's ink, Dave. It's not ink. It's glue. Glue down the middle. And stick that on there. Put the glue on this one. And stick it on there. And then use this piece on this side. And stick that on there. And then that will stick on here. And what I've done is I've stuck it on my prototype. I've stuck it just at the edges, and that way then you've got another place for just putting something down the middle of it. So you've got like a page band. And I know other people call it a belly band, but I don't like that term, so I call it a page band. So we'll just do that. Now you could decorate the wraparounds as well, the inside ones, I mean these panels here, but I'm not going to. You could though. Just going to stick that down like that. Oh no, my fingers are still sticky. Yep. Stick that down like that. And then what we'll do is we'll use a, we use a, I don't know whether they are. I did have some glue, some sticky things, these. We'll use one of these on here. So I'm going to go left over right, I think. Put the clear one down and the opaque one facing. Okay then folks, so that's it. So that's our correspondence companion. So we've got our little opening up here, so we can open this up. This holds all of these in. So these are the cards from Tracie Fox's kit. So, and then we've made this little companion for them all to sit in, and you can put whatever you like in there. Obviously envelopes, you can put, and then there's this place here for your papers to sit, and then in here you can have some tags, or you could have some slimmer envelopes. Bookmark envelope. I love sending bookmark things. You know, if you can't think of anything to send to somebody, I love sending bookmarks, and I like it when they come in their little envelopes. And this is a perfect size for that, because they tend to be about 9 inches high bookmarks, but all smaller. And they will fit nicely in there, and the envelopes will fit in there, and you can send a little note and that sort of thing. And then you've got your board on the back for writing your letters on, and there we go. So that's my day for the December Daily Advent 2024. So it's hashtag DD Advent 2024. I will link Tracie's kits in the description, along with her website and everywhere. You can purchase them and participate. So, like, you know, go and watch all the other people's videos. And that's it for me today. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment, subscribe, all of the good stuff. Really grateful. Thank you everybody as well for recently getting my channel seen a bit more. So I'm now on 2.5 thousand subscribers, and you know, obviously I'd like it to see it go up a bit. And thank you very much for being here. Don't forget, I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much, folks. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.